This conference will now be recorded.
Hi all, welcome to the session. Hope you all can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, I hope you understood how to work with the chain of command, how to work with the events, how to work with event handlers, and all about the forms as well. Now we are done with tables and forms. Okay, so we will come back to this one about classes later on. Okay, and before going to that, I would like to start with data entities. Okay, and maps. I
Kumar,
already, yeah.
I was unable to do that, the adding fields on that. I was searched, but I was little bit confused on dir party tables and all things.
Dear party table quick create form. What is your
No, no.
confusion?
On last Saturday,
Huh?
you told us about to add the two new fields, minimum
Yeah, I
threshold
can.
and maximum
No,
threshold.
no, 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 no.
Count.
I did not say to add the fields. I asked you to create them with default values. Okay?
Yeah, but
Or
uh,
if you want to add the fields, you can do that as well. Huh? Because, okay, let me show you.
and while doing that, I was come with two things in dir party table. There was when I click the primary location address location field, there is
Hmm.
a lookup form opens. What exactly pattern is that? Is that some form open by drop down? Because when
See
we
here, you can create lookup using any of the form. Okay? You can create one custom form and then you can make a lookup for that. So that's all up to you now.
okay.
Okay? And coming to the lookup, you can use the form help. Okay, if you remember, I told there is something called form help at the EDT level. You can use it, or you can use it at the form level. What do you call the field level? If you use that form help, you'll get it. Next, all customers. And this time, I want to show you one more thing. Let me download the Postman tool as well. Okay, Chrome. Because each and every time when we are creating or updating the data, na, I used to show that with an Excel file or CSV or XML. This time I want to try with JSON. Okay, I think you're the first batch where I'm trying this.
It's in right now. It's in high demand, Jason.
Yeah, which is why just I want to show you. I used to show
Yeah.
JSON using the REST API, but not with the data entities. This time I want to just show you how to work with the data entities as well. Okay. So here I told you when you click on the new button, it will open the DR party quick create form. Okay. This form information is DR party quick create, and you can see the customer account. Here this is the control, whatever you say is control name is dynamic header underscore account number. Okay, and then you have the customer group. So you can see here all these are coming from the controls. Okay, now what I said is in this form I want you to customize in such a way that you can set the default values for max threshold and min threshold, or as you have said, if you want to add the fields you can add the fields. Okay, but the first thing you need to do is you need to identify whether this customer account number name are bound controls, the customer group are bound controls or unbound controls. You need to identify that. Did you identify that?
That was dynamic. I know that, but it was very difficult to understand.
You need to try that. Okay.
All odd dynamic controls.
No, no. You need to try that. Okay. Because that will be a bit interesting, which is why I opened that form so that you can look at it. In the name you saw, or in the form did you saw?
Yeah,
Did
in
you check
form
the
I saw
code of
that
the form?
dynamic add controls,
No, no.
add dynamic controls.
Did you saw the code in the form?
Yeah, but
Okay. Are you able to
it
understand it?
was just yeah.
Hmm?
Pardon?
Did you understood the code?
Yeah, I tried, but not all.
Because whenever you go through the form, the first thing you need to say is whether by seeing the name you should not conclude anything. That's what is very important. Because if you by seeing the name, if you conclude that this control is used for this one, frankly speaking, naming conventions might be different, and whatever the work done is also different. Because Dynamics 365, it's not developed only by a single entity. Okay, coming to Dynamics 365, it is developed by a whole lot of other companies as well. Okay, it's a piece by piece. The piece by piece is given to multiple companies and then it will get developed. Okay, it will be outsourced. Okay, this is what you need to remember. So whatever you need to see is the first thing. Let me search for the cost. Okay, cost table is not there, but we have the customer. Generate their party lookup entities filter. Oh, good. They have used entities. Yeah. Okay, got it. Which is why you are facing a bit difficult here. They have used the data entities. Okay.
Yeah, that was confusing. What was that?
I got it. They have used the data entities, which is why you were a bit confused. Okay. No worries. Anyways, I will start with the data entities and I will show you what are those and how to work with them. Based on that, you need to analyze what are the data entities they have added, and then you will get it easily. Okay. I got your problem. As they have added the data entities and they are using them, it was a bit difficult for you in understanding. Got it.
And
Let me
one
search
more
for.
different. Yeah, please.
Yep.
Search.
Number sequence, call static, dir party entry underscore data source, and they have given the if you are creating a new customer, the customer account number sequence might be changed. Okay, good. They will set up all these details. Whatever we need to do is we need to just identify the piece of code what they have done, and then we need to do that. And coming to your problem, I got your problem. The problem is with the data entities. As you don't know about the data entities, it was a bit difficult. Okay, I will explain you the data entities. You can see, you can go through them, and then later on you can come back to this. Then I think it would be a bit easier. Yeah, go ahead. You are saying something?
Yeah, there is one more table, dir person table.
Yes.
In that, there was a column, person title. In the single column, there are two columns. That I was confused. If you open table browser for
If
dir person table,
you if you remember, I told you that as well. If you remember, I told you about the EDT array. They might have used it over there.
okay,
Because when we are working with the address, I showed you address line 1 and address line 2. You can check that. Okay.
okay,
Because in most of the places I saw that they might have used implemented the EDT array. Okay. It's the dir
okay.
person table now. Let me check one
Yes,
second. Dir person. Okay. Let me open this in the designer. Okay. Just a second. Okay. Now, what is the field name?
Person.
Person.
Person title. Yes, this one.
Okay.
Person title.
It's DR. Yeah. Hey, this is a different thing. Yeah. DR name personal title record. This is a in64.
You just go for right click and open table browser.
Okay.
What I have seen that.
Hmm.
Now go for person title.
1 second. It's still loading. Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
This you mean to say title and Mr.
Yes. Yes.
This as well already you have seen. Okay. Let me show you. Whatever you need to do is the first thing you need to go to this personal title. You can see dir name personal title record ID. Okay. You need to go to that extended data type. Dir name personal title rec ID. Okay. Now to
Yeah.
this extends dir name fx rec ID. Okay. dir name fx rec ID. And 1 second. Default name fx rec ID. Name fx rec ID. It extends ref rec ID. Okay. Go to the table references for this one. And then let me check if there is any table reference. No. Okay. Then the next thing I need to check is if I select this, right. It's very slow. Oh, this is a different one. Got it. Because previously what we have discussed is about the address lookup, whereas in a single field it is split up into two. Okay.
Yeah.
Fx type. Okay. This is again should be a separate table. 1 second. It's dir name fx underscore systl. Okay. What is the form name? dir name fx underscore systl. They have used the form help only here, not the edit array. They have used form help. Okay. dir name fx
Okay.
underscore systl. Let me open that. dir name, oh, not here. Data mode. Dir name fx underscore systl. Okay. Sorry, I did not get it. Okay. Oh, dir name fx. I can see only one form. That seems to be the system one. Okay. Actually, form name what it is showing is different, and here it is different. Seems dir name fx underscore systl, but here I can see it as dir name fx. Let me check if both are same or not. dir name affix is the form name. Okay. Just I want to see, yeah, the same thing. Title or suffix, type description, and here you can see doctor title. I 1 2 3 junior suffix. If I go to this dir person, I got the same thing. Title. Okay, it's a filtered one. That's it. It's filtered on the basis of title here, or otherwise you'll get everything. It's a form help. Okay, what they have done is,
Okay.
in this case, they have applied the affix type and then they have applied the form help. That's the only thing they have done for this
Okay.
particular
That
field.
that that
Okay,
is related fixed field type relation with this title.
that actually we need to see. Might be or might
Okay.
not be. Okay, now you can see suffix 1 2 3 junior, senior. Okay, they have used this table and then they have applied the form help, which is why you are seeing the two fields. Got it?
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. Next, any other questions?
No, only two.
Okay, all right. Okay, then let's move forward. So see here, today we will be discussing about the next topic and which is a brand new topic. Okay, now that is about the data entities. Okay, that is about the data entities. What is a data entity? In Dynamics 365, we have a concept called upgradable views. What is the concept? The concept called upgradable views. You know, all the time people used to think upgradable views means the views are upgradable. No, views are not upgradable. Data entities are upgradable. Okay, the data entities will support three different types of operations: create, read, update. Means insert, update, read. Delete is not supported by data entities. Please remember, if you have some delete action, then you should go for something else, not data entities. Data entities will support only insert, read, and update operations. Got it? And the second thing, what is a data entity? A data entity is an abstraction, is an abstraction from the physical implementation of the tables. Okay, so whenever you create a data entity, it will create a view inside the database. Whenever you create a data entity, it will create a view inside a database, which is why we will call these data entities as upgradable views. Okay, please remember, because most of the times people used to confuse when we say upgradable views. Na, they used to think views are upgradable, but views are not upgradable, but that is done by data entity. Okay, how does it work and how data entities are going to abstract the things? Okay, let me show you. For example, let's say we have a address table. I will start with a small table, which is a address table. So now if I take the example of a address table, let me create a data entity and let me call it as ICI address entity. Okay, let me do one more thing. Instead of working on the same project, I have a lot of things here, so sync will take time. Okay, so what I will do is I will simply create a new project. Okay, otherwise it will take very long time for me for this sync. Let me create a new project, the finance and operations one, and let me call it as ICICI bank entities. Okay, only for the sake of easiness I am doing this here. Otherwise, frankly speaking, sync is going to take around 15 or 20 minutes sometimes. I don't want that to happen. Okay, so now it's customer. Click on the add button, new item, and then you can select the data model, and in the data model you can see data entity. Select this data entity and call it as ICI address entity. Click on the add button. And primary data sources, let's select ICI address. And please remember, primary key should be other than rec ID if you want to work with data entity. And the second thing you need to remember is about the public entity name and the public collection name. These are used for exposing data entities to the outside world. Okay, and it is creating a staging table, because whenever you are trying to import or export the data, it will go in a process. How it will go? It will go in a process. The process would be, first of all, source, and then staging, and then destination. Okay, you will have the source. From source it will be moved to the staging, all the validations are done, and then it will go to the destination. Okay, this is how data entities will work. Okay, this is how the data management platform and the data entities are going to work. Okay, you will have the source, staging, and then target. Please remember this. Okay, now let me click on the next button. It will show us the list of fields that we need to select. Let us select the fields. You can see all our fields. Zip code, this is a mandatory field, and it will point out all the fields. Okay, next click on the finish button. So once you click on the finish button, it will create a data entity along with the privileges for us. Okay, as there's a data entity and then a table, all these things. What we need to do? We need to synchronize the database. Click on the synchronize database on build, and then do a rebuild. Okay, so once you rebuild, it will create a OData service for us. Once you do a rebuild, it will create a OData service for us, and along with that, it will also create a data entity for us. Okay, now please remember there are few more setups, and one of them is you need to go to services, and now it's time to start the batch management framework. You can see Microsoft batch management framework. Can you see this? You need to start this. This should be running. Data import export framework service. This should be running. These two should be in running state if you want to work with data entities. The second thing that you need to remember. And third thing, as I told you, download the postman tool and then install it. Okay. Next, go to portal.azure.com, because going further, because previously in case of Dynamics X 2012, we used to use something called Windows authentication, and the time of Windows authentication is gone. Now we have a new type of authentication called Active Directory authentication, Azure Active Directory authentication. So in this Azure Active Directory authentication, you will have something called app registrations, and register a new app here. Okay, click on the new registration, and then let me call this as D365 integration. I'm going to use this for everyone. Okay, I'm going to use here accounts in the organizational directory, multi-tenant, let it be. Okay, and here it is asking for HTTP, yes, colon slash slash map redirect URL. If you want to add it, you can. Otherwise, click on the register. It's optional. It will create a new identity for us. Done. Now it has created the new identity, which is a application or client ID. Okay, it is a application or client ID. Okay, now I want to ask you one question. Do you want me to show in the postman, or do you want me to show in the what do you call this, what is this here, Visual Studio? Where do you want to see this? I'll show you one of them, and the other one I want you to try. Everything works in a similar fashion. Where do you want to see? Let me do one thing. I will show you how to work with this in the this one. Whereas coming to the SOAP API, I will show you in the what do you call that, Visual Studio. Okay, so that you will learn both of them. I will show you OData with SOAP API, and the next one is with that one. Okay, and now in the meantime, let it build, and sync because it will take long time. So now, first, whenever you are working with the Azure Active Directory authentication, it will work. You will work on the basis of tokens. You need to generate a token. How to do that? To do that, I am creating a new collection in the Postman. Let me call it this as D365 November 2020. And then here you can see nothing. I'm not going to add anything here. And here it is the request. Now in this request, I'm going to take, there should be something called add request. Okay. And here I will say get token. Okay. Because if I need to hit Dynamics 365 and get some data, I need the token. So I'm using get token here. And in this get token, you can see the request URL. And please remember, this request URL will be combination of HTTPS colon double slash login dot microsoftonline.com slash tenant. Tenant means either you can give pkd365.onmicrosoft.com, and let's say you don't want to give that, then you can use this token tenant ID. Okay, and you need to use the tenant ID here. Along with this tenant ID, OAuth 2 slash token. This is what you need to use. Okay, this is what you need to use. And then in the body, you need to add a few parameters. Select the form data here, and then the first key would be grant underscore type. This grant underscore type, we will call it as client underscore credentials. Okay, what do we call this? Client credentials. And the second key would be client underscore ID. This client underscore ID, you will get it from Azure Active Directory. You can see this is the client ID. Copy and then simply paste it here. And the third one is client underscore secret. This actually you need to generate. From where you can generate? If you go to this one, you can see certificates and secrets. Can you see this? Select this, and then it will create a new secret for us. Okay, new client secret, and expiry never. I will set it to description as D365 November 2020, and then click on the add button. It will give us a new secret. This is only one time, so please copy it and then paste it. Okay, here you can paste the client secret. Okay, and after doing working with the client secret, you can give the type of resource here, and this resource would be here. The value will be your URI. Whatever the Dynamics 365 URI you have, you need to provide that. Okay, 1 second. And please remember, provide this with other slash. Done. Okay, and it would be https colon double slash. Okay, that is the one. Done. No, I don't know why in Windows it is not showing. Okay, https colon double slash. This is the one. Okay, now with this you can generate the token. If you click on the send button, if everything goes fine, it will generate a token for us. You can see this is called as access token. This access token is going to contain the details of all this. Okay, now build got completed. The next step would be go to the front end. Because whatever the client ID we have generated now, we need to add that in Visual Studio, and then we need to say that this is the client ID that I want to use. To do that, what you need to do is you need to go to system administration, and then you will have Azure Active Directory applications. Here you need to add the client ID. Okay, we have generated one client ID now. This one, you need to take this client ID and then click on edit button, paste it over here. User ID would be admin. You need to select the admin user ID. Please remember this. Okay, and let me give this as admin. Okay, and then save. Done. The next thing is If you want to get the list of all the OData entities that are available, you can use /data. And there are a lot of features. Okay, in the latest version, we have a feature called dual write in OData. You can try them. Okay, it's not a big deal. Once you know how to work with the OData service, you can try them. Now you can see here it has given the OData service. Save as, and this JSON file is going to contain the data of all the entities. Now if I open the JSON, 1 second, you can see data.json. Let me open this. You will see this interesting here. Okay. Now let's see whether we have the address entity or not. We have created ICICI address. You can see this is the list of entities. Now press Ctrl F and check ICI, and then let me search. Where is this? Can you see this? Now it has created the entity. ICI addresses, ICI addresses. Good. Okay. Now let me do one thing. Let me copy this, and here let me take /data and then slash control ICI addresses, and then let me try to open this. Okay, it has given me the JSON. Let me click on Save As button, and then ICI addresses. Click on Open. Okay, let's see what it does. Let's see. Let's wait for a minute. It's getting open. Now it has given the data for us. This is all. Okay. Now let me try one thing. Okay. I will close this, and let me take this URI. This is the one, I think. Okay. And I want to run this on Postman and see whether I'm getting the same thing or not. Okay. And I want to create one record as well using this. Let's try it out. Okay. Now let me go to this one again, and let me create a request. Let me create a request here. I will call this as get address data. Click on the save button. Now this time go to this address data and then paste the URL here, and let me click on the send button, and let's see whether it works or not. What is this here? It is not getting any response. If I run on the Internet Explorer, it has given. Why? Because what is the difference here? Previously we don't have token. Is that right? Now we have it. Okay, because it doesn't know what should be done. Is that right? It doesn't know what should be done, which is why it is throwing the error. Okay, so now whatever we need to do is, by default you can see some headers, 6 hidden, and let me add one more. I want to call this as content type. Okay, once you type it, you will get it, content type, and here you can add application / JSON. Okay, done. And then go to authorization. Here you need to take a token, and you need to take the bearer token here, and here whatever you need to do is you need to generate one token. Once the token is generated, you need to use this token. Go to address data and then paste it out here. Done. Okay, now you have pasted the token. Now go to body, click on send. Oh, it still says could not get the response. Self-learn more about trouble. Okay, could not get the response. 1 second. For this version, it is not working. Okay, the problem is with the specification. Now you got the data. Okay, now let's say you want to create a new record. Okay, I want to take one of them. And I want to paste it here. Okay, now you have the token and everything ready. I want to take one of them here, data, and then let me paste it out. Okay, I have pasted this, and let's say I will remove this field as well. I'm just trying to send some data here. Zip code equal to 1054 and Delhi. In this Noida, let me remove this here, and then click on the send button. This is get, so it will get the data. Similarly, if you want to insert, let me try one more method called post here. Now I am posting. Let's see what happens. Write failed, table row, address entity. Cannot create a record. The record already exists. Why? Zip code is unique. Okay, zip code is unique. Let me try 10055, or let me do with some 9000055. Okay, and if you want me to change it, let me do some like this. Okay, let me click on send button. What did it do? It has created the record through a OData service. Okay, now let me open SQL and check, because I doubt whether the record got created or whether it is throwing some wrong thing, something like that. Okay, now if you want to create multiple records, what you need to do? You need to simply use the data array. Okay, you need to use array here instead of a single field. Can you see this? How easy it is? Can you see this? How simple it is to create with OData service? 1 second, SQL is getting open. Okay, this is how you are going to work with OData service. And I will show you how to consume this OData service in Power BI as well later on, once we work with aggregated data entities. And the same thing you can consume in Visual Studio. If you want to create a simple HTTP client, you can create a simple HTTP client, and then you can provide the auth token, and you can do that. Okay. Or let's say if you want to do some, there is a other way around. If you want to get the D365 resources, and if you want to do that, you can do it that way as well. Please remember. Okay. This is how you are going to work with OData. And you know, this is actually very popular. Let me select AXDB and then select star from ICI address. Okay. Where is this? 9000055 Delhi. This is the one we created just now. Got it? Did you understand how to work with the OData service? Or do you have any questions here? Hey, please let me know, yeah, because this is one of the integration that you will work with most of the times, and you are not going to consume. You are going to just test in the postman, and the third party, whoever want to consume, they will consume this request. Okay, you will never consume this request unless until you know the Visual Studio and you'll work with the Visual Studio. Now it's your time. Please let me know if you have any questions here. If there are no questions, I'll go to the next step. Okay, hope there are no questions, and I'm going to the next step. The next step is the manual thing. Okay, because sometimes, okay, you will have a requirement wherein you need to manually import or export the data using the Excel files. Then we will go for the system administration, data management platform, and in this data management platform, we will start working with it. Okay, 1 second. System administration, data management. Let it open. Okay, and then here you have the job for import and export. Click on the export button here, and let me create some group name called ICI address export, and then this is the export project. Let me generate the data package, and you can see there is a button called add entity here. Select this and select the entity name. Entity name is ICI address entity, and then target data format. Let me take XML. You can take anything you want. Okay, or if you want to take CSV, let's say for example, you can take CSV. Okay, because CS that you will see always. So okay, skip staging. No, I don't want to skip staging. Click on the add button. Done. it will create a new entity for us for export. Done. Now here the interesting thing is about the mapping. If you click on this view map, you can see that how the fields are mapped. Okay, and if you go to the mapping details, you can see the details. Here actually there are a few options. Let's say you want to ignore the blank values, then you can set ignore blank values. You want to have the text qualifier. Okay, only text qualifier. You can update the text qualifier. If you want to use enum label instead of the enum, you can use enum label. Okay, so these settings you can do. If you want to create a new field, you can use new button. To delete, delete. To save, save. Okay, this is the visualization. And along with this, you have few more menus here. From this, if I click this one, you can see there is something called options, options, and then options will be same everywhere, so I will not concentrate on them. Manage. Here there is something called manage recurring data jobs. Okay, this is very interesting thing. Let's say your client has the on-premise environment or some third-party tool, and that is on the on-premise system, and he wants to continuously import or export the data. Okay, let's say your client has a third-party tool to create the sales orders. Okay, to create the sales orders, your client has a third-party tool, and then using that third-party tool, he is creating the orders. Let's say, for example, so while creating these orders, whatever he found is that he would like to integrate with Dynamics AX and then post that orders, invoice that orders. How to do that? So what you can do whenever a sales order is created, you can create a CSV file or a JSON or whatever you want, and then you can push it into the Dynamics AX. There are two ways. If it is a, let's say in a minute you're getting some 1 or 2 orders, then you can go with synchronous mode. Let's say you're getting every minute some 50 orders or so, then you need to go with asynchronous mode. When you're choosing this asynchronous mode, we are going to set up something called recurrence data jobs. In these recurring data jobs, it will create a URI for us. It will generate a URI for us. And then if you push the message to that particular URI, then automatically it is going to hit. It will get hit and it will start working. Okay, the data will be pushed and then the response will be sent, but the response will not contain the invoice ID or something like that. Okay, just you can push the data. Okay, later on, if you want to consume, then you need to expose one more service. If you want to make it in a asynchronous fashion, you need to go for recurring data jobs. Okay, you need to go for recurring data jobs. Okay, and then now you can see standard view that is deprecated, so let's not go with that. And then you can see there are a few more things. One is the export button, and then applicable roles. First of all, let's try with the export button. Okay, if you want to create a recurring data job, you need to select this. It will create a batch job which will continuously process the messages that we have sent to the recurring integration API. Please remember. Now let me click on the export button and check whether it is exporting the data or not. It says the batch job is scheduled. Click on close, and you can go to the job history if you want to see that. It didn't run. Refresh. Every minute it will run, so we need to wait for a while. End it. Now target status is executing. End it. Now if you want to see any errors in this job, click on the job ID. It will show you the details. Execution summary, entity status, and address entity. Now you can see 6 records exported. If you click this, you can download the file. Okay, and this is again a different view. If you want to go with the enhanced view, standard view this is, you can click on enhanced view. Okay, we will see enhanced view as well. Let me click on enhanced view. It will be in a different way. This is how it looks like. And then click on the download package. I am interested on the package as well. Now it will download a package for us. Click on the save button, open folder. Now we will analyze both of them in detail. Now the first one is the CSV file. Check, check, check. This is the CSV file. Right click on edit. This contains the addresses in a CSV format. Done. Next, data package. See here, let's say you have a AX 2012 environment, or let's say you have a Dynamics 365 environment, and from Dynamics 365 environment, you want to push the data into another 365 environment. Then we are going to use the data package. The data package is a zip file, and this data package contains, and using this data package you can import or export from LCS. Please remember, using these data packages you can use the data automation task and then import or export from LCS as well. That's also possible. Okay, there are multiple ways. Now the one is a package header. It will contain the details of the entity and the manifest. Next, you will have the manifest file. This will contain the details of whatever the entities to be reported, whatever the properties, what are the fields, all those details will be there in the manifest file. These two files are very, very important. Along with this, I have selected the CSV format, so it will generate the file in a CSV format. If I select the XML, the package contains a XML file. If I select the some other, it will contain the some other format. Okay, so this is about a data package. Okay, and then the next step is import. Now let's say I have this one. I will click on the edit button. I will remove all this. Please remember, there should not be any space as well. Now I will make it 800054, and I will make it New Delhi everywhere instead of Delhi. New Delhi, and then New Delhi. Save. Now I have the data here ready. Now let's say I want to import this data using data entities. How to do that? If I go to the front end again, back to back, if I close this, close this, close this, close this, now you have the import button here. Select this import. You can select the group name, ICI, address, import, and then adding the file is mandatory. Select the add file. You can click on entity name, ICI address, done. Source data format, CSV. Use sample file is yes. You cannot. Okay, this is mandatory because without input file you can't import the data here. Okay, now select JOY. Where is this ICI address? Is it on downloads? One second. Yeah, it seems to be on downloads. This is the one. Click on open button. The file got loaded and it is loading the information. And here you can see skip staging is set to yes. Okay, if you don't want to skip staging, you need to set it to no. Let me do one thing. Let me remove this entity first of all, because I don't want to skip the staging, but unfortunately it has skip staging set to yes. So I want to remove this entity. Okay. Now click on the add file and then select ICI address and select the data format CSV. Click on upload and add. One second. No. Skip staging. No. Upload and add. And now select your file. Open. Okay. And here you will have the full push and incremental push. Full push means all the data of this file will get imported. Incremental push means it will check if the data is available. It will not push the data. Now let me select view map. You will find some other options other than whatever we have in case of export. Okay. One is auto generated. Let's say you have a number sequence and you want to automatically generate that number sequence for the file. Then you need to use auto generated. And auto default. Let's say by default you want to set the country to India all the time. Then you can simply set it to auto default, and then you can mention the default value, and you can set it to India. Click on the OK button. Now what it will do is whenever it encounters the a country, then it will take the default value, and then it is not going to take anything else. Okay. And let's say you have any conversion field, the mathematical field, then you can apply that conversion, the currency conversion. For example, you want to convert rubles to dollar, dollar to rupee, rupee to dollar. Okay, or whatever you want, you can do that. Okay. The next thing is mapping visualization. Here you can see the visualization is similar. Now country is not mapped. Why? Because country has the default value. Okay. Now click on the close button, and now the next step is click on the import. If everything goes fine, it will import the data. Batch job is scheduled. Click on close. Okay. Now you can go to job history again. Here you can see the job history. Now if you select this, it will open the view. Okay. Now if you want to have the enhanced view, you can see in the enhanced view as well. Done. Refresh, refresh. It's running now. Successful. The data got imported. Now let's say if there are any errors in this, how to check them? If you click on view staging data, it will show you those errors. It says no errors means it is completed. If there are any errors, it is going to list them out here. As there are no errors, it says no errors. And then let's say if there are errors and you want to fix in the staging table, you can fix those errors here, and then you can select copy data to target. You can validate, copy data to target, it's done. Okay, please remember, this is how we are going to work with the import with data entities. The import with data entities. Now if I go to SQL and then if I execute, you should see 7 fields. And one of them is New Delhi. Where is that here? 80054. This is the one. New Delhi. Now you can see, oh, we have set default value to something, India here. Okay. It has took the district as India based on the file because I think, let me check. 1 second. This is our CSV file. Here I have the country. So it has treated 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here I have the country, but treated as district. Okay. Or there is one more possibility. Just a second. Let me check. There is one more possibility. I want to see that because I want to see the stage mapping. Okay. 1 second. Let me close this and let me close this. And this is the address entity. I want to see this mapping. Country equal to country mapping visualization. No. Is this for export or import? 1 second. ICI address import. This is the one. Let me run the project. Okay, it got loaded. Let me select view map. And after city, it took the district mapping details because it should take on the base of fields here. Oh, unfortunately, it has not taken on the base of fields here. This is one issue that we found just now. Seems this to be a bug because you can see I have zip code, city, country. Zip code, city, country. Okay. I have set country to default value. Then what it should do? It should take country and then read India. But unfortunately, it took this India as a district. I think this seems to be a bug for me. Can you say this? I got the district as India here, which should not be the case. And for street, it has to. Oh, there is one more possibility. Let me check if there is a comma or not. There is a comma. Okay. Because what it has done for the district, it has taken India, the value inside the country, and for street, it has taken New Delhi and then Sweet House Road. For state, it has taken New Delhi. Okay. Unfortunately, while they are traversing with these values, there was some problem for them. Okay. This issue is not from me. Okay. If you see that, that is not from me. Because for the street, can you see here? They took New Delhi, Sweet House Road as the street. That means this country itself, they are not reading. Okay. There are two things here. Either I need to remove this country from here. Okay. And then let me remove India from here. Let me make it 6000054. Save. Okay. Now I have 5 fields. Now let's see what it does. Okay. Seems like they are expecting us in a different format. If there is any new field, they might not be allowing it. So I want to retry. Let me retry now. Okay. Now this is mine. And okay. Let me close this. Let me create a new important project to avoid confusion. ICI address import 1. Let me click on the add file here, and then the entity is ICI address, source data format is CSV, and then skip staging no, click on upload and add. And where is the file name? Oh, but actually there will be one problem in that file. 1 second, let me change it. I think we have one more unique index now. So I'll make it I save. Now this is good. Okay. Now let me take this address entity, open. Come on. Okay. Let me select the mapping here. Okay. Now country is not mapped. Now let me go to mapping details. But unfortunately, they should not do that. Let me click on the new field, source field. Let me take it as country, staging field, and then auto default. Let me set some default value, and I want to take India here. And then click on OK button. Now there is a auto default value. Okay. Now done. Click on save. Click on close. Now it has got the default value. Now let me click on import and check what it does. And this view as well. Some places they have set standard view, some places they have set enhanced view. But they will change. It will take some time. Done. And now let me check select start from IC address. And here I want to see this is good. Okay. Actually, the problem is from there and here. When there is a country field, they need to identify that as country, frankly speaking. Because in the CSV we have given the headers, but they are not respecting the headers. That's the problem. They are not respecting the headers, which is why you got India in district as well. Okay, that's the problem. Okay, done. They might update. Frankly speaking, they will update. They will check this kind of issues and they will update. That's not a problem. Okay. Yeah, this is about the data management framework and data services. Okay, we will see tomorrow how to work with the multiple data sources and then composite data entities and then aggregated data entities. Okay, so we will serve them. Now it's your time. Please let me know if you have any queries.
I want to ask for we added two fields, minimum threshold and maximum threshold in SQL. So that field added in the sales table itself, or there is some another table at backend that stored?
Not added minimum threshold and maximum threshold in SQL. I added in AX.
Are they going in SQL or not?
They will go in SQL as well. Otherwise,
Okay.
how can it store the data?
Yeah. So is
What
there
is store
any
the
other
data?
table, or it's in itself sales table itself?
1 second. Okay. Select a star from cache table. You want to know about minimum threshold and maximum threshold. 1 second. Okay. Let me do this.
I did it.
Okay. Where
Yeah,
did they go?
I got it. Yeah, it's itself in the table.
Okay. The
Yeah.
segregation is done by the kernel. AX
Okay.
kernel. You will have a AX kernel DLL that will take care of it. Next.
Yeah, and you have told about the packages.
Yes.
We can import and export from one D365 machine to another D365 machine. So
Yes.
if I am going to export that package on a machine where my ICI address table does not exist, so does it create the new table, or it will give me error?
It is not going to create a new table. It will simply say table
Okay.
not found.
Okay. And there is one more option, query option on import, where we showed. So at there we will write just select star from or select any column.
One second. Well, let me go to that field. You mean to say in this mapping, if I go to mapping details,
last query criteria.
query
Okay, it's
criteria.
not it is criteria.
Yes. You can simply add the new field name and then you can add the criteria for this.
Okay.
And here as well you can
But
see
that was the option
action
of query,
tab.
writing query.
No, this is not the
Okay.
option of writing query.
Okay, that's
Here
criteria.
as well you can see action pane tab. Okay. This is the problem with testing.
Yeah.
There should not be action pane tab, but instead of that, there should be some menu. Yeah. Any other questions? Still, there are a lot of things here in Dynamics 365 to come. Okay. Because there are a lot of issues ongoing still. Okay. They are just resolving. Okay, that's it for today. If there are no questions, I think we can end the session. Thanks all for the session. Let's meet again tomorrow, same time. Thank you all. Bye.